Hello and welcome to World of Tanks with Trapsikis. We're looking at a different one of my clanmates for a change, T-Boss. He uploaded this replay to the What Replays site and I found it recently and I just had to show it to you. So, the KV-4, it is dog slow, it is massive, it's an easy target. The commander's hatch is relatively easy to hit for higher tier heavy tanks, so your frontal armor, if you're facing tiers 9 and 10, the frontal armor doesn't help much because the massive commander's hatch, let me just turn around here, doesn't have very good armor. So higher tier TDs and heavies tend to penetrate that easily. You've got very good nominal armor, but because the sloping isn't very good, it's very difficult to get good use out of it. So the armor isn't fantastic. It's good. It's very good at tier, but if it were angled a little bit, it would be much better. Right, so it's slow, it's annoying to play, it's annoying to have one in your team because they're always lagging behind, it's annoying to have one in the enemy team simply because they have an excellent gun. So if a KV-4 is played well, then they can soak up a lot of damage and they can deal out even more. This gun is unique to the KV-4. It's not like most other guns that can be mounted on other tanks. It has penetration of 227 and an average damage of 320. And the reload isn't that bad either. Gun handling is quite alright, with only the Carnarvon being significantly better at the same tier. Unfortunately, it seems T-Boss accidentally loaded APCR instead of AP. So the APCR penetration pushes you up to 289, but since he's top tier and it doesn't look like his first opponents will be heavies, he doesn't need it at all. He's only going to need his AP and probably some HE shells, but it seems he loaded the APCR and either neglected or chose not to switch back to AP. Nevertheless, his first opponent seems to be the Type 58. But if you're driving a Type 58 and you see a KV-4 parked ready to shoot at you, better option to just run away. You need to use your mobility advantage in order to eliminate this target, and he won't be able to circle strafe him with the amount of backup he has. This T-37 doesn't realize the danger, and he pushes in right in front of T-Boss without being able to make an impact in return. So, a bit of a low roll there, but still straight through the frontal plate of the Type 58 once again. I'm quite sure the AP would have been more than sufficient in this scenario. Alright, angling quite well, diamond shaping. That's all you need to be able to do with this tank. That's why I like it. It was one of my first heavy tanks at tier 8, and because it's easy to play, the armor is all round. It's not like the French tanks that only have armor in the front, or such as the IS-3, which once you're flanked, you're screwed. The KV-4 has good armor all round, sides, rear, front. It's not magnificent in any way, simply because the angling is bad, but because it's reliable at all angles or from all sides, you can cut your teeth with this one as a heavy tank and learn what to look for in new heavy tanks that you choose to go to at tier 8. Right, 2 kills done, 570 blocked so far, and no hit points lost, even though, as you'll see in the hit log bottom left, the Type 58 was firing APCR. I'm not sure what the penetration on those shells are, but they would be quite significant. Alright, so this open-topped Type 64 didn't pose much of a threat, and then behind him T-3485, 2 tiers lower. Yeah, you're not going to do much against the armor of the KV-4. He's not shooting APCR, which is a mistake. He will need the extra penetration to stand a chance of doing any damage to this beast. Right. Now, unfortunately, the friendly base is being capped. There are 2 enemies on the friendly base, so with the speed of the KV-4 being what it is, your chance to reset is never very good. 10 seconds left. T-Boss has been having quite a good game, but he won't be able to make it up that slope in time to reset. Fortunately, the friendly tank up there does the reset for us. Let me just check what that was, the STA-1. So between the E25 and the WZ, he is in a bit of trouble, and unfortunately they take him out. But this allows T-Boss the time that he needed to trudge up the slope and be able to reset again. So he's nearly to the top of the slope and 13 seconds left, so he should be able to have at least one shot at the enemies. Now this WZ obviously having quite a dangerous gun, and this is the first damage T-Boss takes. Now the E25, being what it is, very fast, good gun handling, very good camo. Against the KV-4, one-on-one, I would prefer to be in the E25, simply because of the speed of the reload and the speed of the tank. So, because T-Boss has the backup of the T-150 there, the E25 wisely decides to go down the slope and take them on one by one. And then, lucky for T-Boss, he manages to put in that shot on the WZ, unfortunately though, rolling quite low. But now he is a one-shot. So, this is a difficult position for the T-150, the TS6 heavy tank, to be in. He's facing two dangerous tanks here, the E25 and the T-44, both higher tiers. And then T-Boss manages to do what a lot of KV-4 owners have dreamed of, to ram kill an E25. Well done. A little bit of luck there, but I'll take it. Right. So, unfortunately, angling straight towards the T-44 allows him to penetrate. We would have done better to keep diamond shaping. And now the WZ is also shooting at him, but fortunately not penetrating. Very nice. It finishes off the WZ. And as everyone knows, in a heavy tank, it's much easier to face an enemy from one side than enemies from two. Right. So zigs and zags won't save you, my friend. You weren't able to use your speed well enough to be able to escape this gun. Right, now we've got one friendly ally and two enemy arties. This is a difficult situation because both of them are on low hit points, and the artillery can do that. So the T-150 wasn't fast enough to relocate, and the enemies were able to shoot him. So be aware of this, even though it's looking good. If you've got two enemy arties and just a couple of allies remaining, you have to relocate. Even if you think you're not spotted, chances are they're looking at the area, they'll see your traces, they might take a lucky shot and be able to eliminate you. So be careful for that. Right. T-Boss not feeling the pressure at all, obviously. Sneaking up the middle of the map, because with the speed of the KV-4, going down either the left or the right would be a bad idea. Because if you want to cover their cap, where their RT usually hides out, you can do it from the middle here. If you want to cover your own cap, you can also do it from the middle. So you'll have enough time when they start capping to actually move back and be able to spot them and decap or get some defense points. Right. Wisely, he moves back to check out his own cap, and he finds the fast enemy RT, the French one, coming to cap. Now, I don't know if he has Sixth Sense on the Lorraine there, but it does look like he's unaware of being spotted. So, very nice, but unfortunately a bit of a low roll, leaving the enemy there on a measly 30 hit points. And this is something you never want to see. A heavy tank hitting a French artillery and not penetrating, just taking off the track. However, artillery's crews tend to not focus on repairs so much, so he did have time to reload and eliminate the enemy. Right, one-on-one, the enemy M44 is, I think it's an M44? Hummel, sorry. Enemy Hummel, obviously not being the fastest of artillery, is probably not having a very good day now. He probably hoped to be able to eliminate T-Boss while the Lorraine was at the friendly base. However, I doubt if the Lorraine managed to spot him. So, T-Boss now in a much better position. You may have noticed while I'm thinking of it, the shells that he was using, he used the APCR, but I don't believe he switched on purpose. I believe he only switched accidentally back to the AP after he ran out of APCR shells. Alright, I'm going to speed it up a little bit because watching KV4 driving is like watching paint dry. So he's going to the cap to force the artillery to come to him. Obviously, it is a bit risky. If you get onto their cap right after they get onto yours, they will win. But fortunately, T-Boss is first to start capping, and once you've got 5 seconds down, they have to reset, otherwise you will win. So this is a tricky one. You never know which way the artillery went, unless, of course, you had the hit indicator showing you from which side they were shooting you. And I didn't notice the Hummel actually damaging him at any point, so it could be either side. Fortunately, T-Boss outspots the Hummel. Can take his time aiming and eliminates the enemy. Kill number 10, 4,114 damage, not counting the blind damage he did, at least on the Lorraine. So let's have a look at the post-game stats. And of course, someone will call you a noob no matter how well you do. Let's go to the post-game stats. Obviously the Pools Medal, Steel Wall, High Caliber, and Top Gun. I'm not going to talk about the minor awards. 4144 damage, so the Lorraine kill was counted as spotted damage, so that is a little bit odd, but that's okay. You'll see the base experience there of 1450. That's very impressive considering he was top tier. Remember, you get extra experience if your enemies are higher tiers, so that's why your tier 10 games tend to have quite low experience. On the personal details, you'll see he was running a premium account which compensated for the use of all his premium ammunition, or totaling 49,000 reload cost, and he managed to make a profit of 31,000 and an experience income of just over 5,000. Very well done, T-Boss, and thank you for watching.